But Hitchins is a tall kid. He's about 5'10". He has a good reach. He has great balance. He's a great jab, a great right hand, and he just doesn't give you much. He doesn't have the most exciting style in the world, but that's the kind of style that will drive a guy like Teofimo crazy if Teofimo can't hit him on his chin. So I can see Hitchins giving Teofimo a lot of trouble. I don't know who will win. Don't know who will win. I'm not saying he will beat him, but that's a very, very tough style for Teofimo. I would be I'll be shocked if Teofimo was to take that fight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell me why. It's a unification.
Because it's just bigger fights out there for him, and it's a tough style.
I mean, he just turned down a $2.8 million fight with Subriel Matias.
All right. Okay. That was that fight. Just telling you. And plus, I just read that he signed with Keith Connolly.
Same manager.
Richard Hitchins is signed with Keith Connolly.
Doesn't that doesn't that help?
No.
Tell me why. I think I'm wondering what you're gonna say. Why? Because they
I
need more
don't,
of a
you know
story
what?
plan.
I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that because the game is to be sold, not to be
Not to be.
told. I'm not. I can't get into that because it's not my business. But no, it doesn't help. Get Keith Conley on here and talk to him and let him talk about his fighters and their business, and maybe he can explain it. I don't want to get in the middle of that, but it doesn't help. It's actually somebody's going to be upset if they sign the fight.
Mm. I mean, Berlanga was able to get it done with Canelo. Conley was able to get that done.
Conley not Canelo's manager.
True.
We,
True.
context is important.
True.
Context is very important.
That is true. Damn. So you really don't think that fight's gonna happen?
I mean,
He's
I
saying.
would like to see Richardson Hitchins get the shot, but I just can't see Teofimo Lopez fighting him. I just can't see it. Teofimo Lopez with Eddie Reynoso right now.
Yeah.
Eddie
He.
Reynoso, bro, you know how much money he done made as a manager picking the right fights? You really think that Eddie Reynoso will have his guy, his new guy, fight a 5'10" black kid that's moving and jabbing and boxing like that when there's so many more fights out here for him? So many better styles to match up. I just don't believe it. And if it happens, that's fine. I'll stand corrected. I'm not saying 100% is not going to happen, but I just don't believe Teofimo Lopez will go into that fight right now. I
I see
just
what you're
don't. Like
saying.
I think it's just a horrible style.
I see what you're saying. Um, do you feel like perhaps Teofimo Lopez going to Eddie Reynoso, being able to, you know, get that knowledge of being able to cut the ring off and do things of that sort? Do you
Sure.
feel like maybe the
Sure.
combination of that and saying, "Hey, we can get this job done. I think you have what it takes to beat a Richardson Hitchins." Now,
Sure. Sure, that can happen. That can happen.
yeah.
That can happen.
Mm.
Sure.
But in the
But
business of boxing, you see, if you're signed to the same manager 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna happen right away.
listen, a promoter has a job to get you fights. A manager has a job to get you fights that you can win. If you're managing both fighters, you can't tell both of them they're gonna win, can you?
Mm-hmm.
All right then.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell them both they're gonna win.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're gonna have to lie to one of them. Right? Just think about it. It's the job title. So manager's not a promoter. A promoter has if your contract say 4 fights a year, you gotta get you 4 fights a year. It's to get you fights. You don't have to get you winnable fights. A manager has a duty to get you the best fight for you that you can win. Well, somebody is going to lose a fight. There's a winner and a loser to every fight, and I just don't know if he's going to put him in there with that guy.
So you
Um,
really you really believe that Keith Conley thought that Edgar could be able to beat Canelo? or it was just more of a payday for
I
Canelo?
don't know what he thought. I don't want to talk for him. I don't know what he thought, but I did tell him congratulations when I seen him out there that weekend. That he
Yeah,
doing a great job with Edgar Berlanga. Um, he did a great job with him to get him that fight. Edgar Berlanga is really a prospect, and to get that fight without having to go through, not having to fight one guy in the top 10, one reputable name. Has he even fought an ex-world champion yet? I don't know. I'm not sure.
who?
But Edgar Berlanga, has he beaten any ex-world champions?
No,
All right then. So that's a hell of a job that Keith Conley did. So that's a outlier type of circumstance where you
right,
gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta take that fight and just roll the dice and get a guy generational money where he can kind of take care of his family or whatever. So that's a little different circumstances. And he's not managing Canelo.
right, right,
You know what I mean? So it's a different fight. It's a different he's managing Teofimo. He's managing Hitchins. You know what I mean? And I know Hitchins probably wants to fight because Teofimo is a bigger name and it represents a big money for him. But would the fight be good for Teofimo? What if Hitchins outboxed Teofimo and upset him?